So welcome back. In our previous session, we dealt with vectorization, digitization of point entity. Now, in this session, we would be doing the line entity digitization. I had tried to explain you. Now I will try to do it in the lab so that you can learn as to how we can do the vectorization or digitization of line entity. If you recall, we have discussed it many a times that the line entity has only the length, it does not have the width. So any linear feature on the ground, if you want to represent it into map in digital format here, then you use the line entity. Previously we have digitized the point entity, now we would be digitizing the line entity. So what we have to do first, you see, we need to bring the base map. So we have already georeferenced one topographical map of Aligarh, so it is here. How you can bring it in the on the screen? You just go to the layer. If you recall, in the previous exercise also we did this exercise. So layer, add layer, and this is a raster map, so we will click raster, and wherever it is the location, when you will add here, the raster map would appear. So that is why the raster map is appearing here, and when you will click this, this is the raster map which is appearing displayed on the screen, which is georeferenced, and on this map we would be using the using this map, using this georeferenced topographical map, we would be digitizing the line entity. So for initiating the line entity, again you have to go to the layer from the menu bar, pull it down, and create layer. So because we are creating a new layer, so go to the create layer, and there you have to click the new shapefile layer. So when you click it, it will come like this. This happened with the point entity also. When we were digitizing the point entity, the same dialog box, the same window appeared, and we worked on that. So the same kind of procedure is to be adopted here also. So here, for example, file name, I'll continue with Aligarh because it is the Aligarh map. And then second is the geometry type. Now here there is some difference. Earlier we chosen point, now we will choose select the line entity. So we will select line entity. You remember we said that we have to continue with the coordinate reference system of the base map, and the base map coordinate reference system was on WGS 84. So we will continue with it because we are only replicating the ground realities or map realities of the topographical map which we have already georeferenced. So we will continue with that reference system. Now here I would say I would insert as line because it will be a line entity, and I would be naming them, so it will remain as the text data. Okay, and add to field. So that's what we have to do, and I'll say okay. So that is how this is appearing now. I mentioned this earlier also. I would repeat that whatever map is on screen displayed here, they all would be shown here in the layers, and we have two maps right now. One is the Aligarh topographical map. If you deselect it, it will disappear, but if you select it, it will be appearing here. The second is blank. We haven't done anything, but it is in digitizing mode. That's why it is highlighted. That's why it is here. I cautioned you earlier also. Again, I would caution you that if you are working with many maps, many maps are displayed in the layers, many map layers are displayed in the layers, then you should be very cautious as to which layer you want to work upon and which layer is in digitizing mode. If you have also point map here, polygon map here, and that is selected and that is in the digitizing mode. Then if you continue with the line entity, it won't appear in on point map. So you need to be very cautious that what layer you are working upon and whether it is in digitizing mode or not, whether it is active or not, that you need to keep in mind. So here the line map alig is in digitizing mode and it is in active mode. So that means that we can work on it. So first we would click here. So this is toggle editing. For editing, you need to click this. So when you will click this, since it is a line entity, we have to select this add line feature. If you recall in the point map, when we were digitizing point entity, there a different symbol was appearing, displayed here. Reason being that we selected point entity as the map which we wanted to design or digitize. Here we have selected line entity to digitize. That is why this is appearing and it is available for us to digitize. So here I'll click this and then I may zoom into the map so that we will have good idea. And you will see that here there are many roads. I'll take this pan and I'll bring down and I'll start digitizing with here. And you recall I mentioned that wherever it is going straight, we need to keep the vertices lesser number, but from where it is bending, you need to click so that a new vertex is taken. So that way I am clicking on some of the point where roads are bending and I am finalizing it like this and I will click here. And when I'll right click to end the digitization of any line entity, I'll put the ID as 1 and here I would write as say GT road. So I'll say GT road and I'll say OK. This line would be digitized. So if I can remove that, this would be appearing like this. Now you see this is a straight line and then I bend it. So here is one vertex, here is another, and that way we have few vertices here. The basic idea is that we need to minimize the vertices, but if the line is straight, so between the two vertices the line would remain as the straight. And whenever there is bending of the line feature, we need to click the left mouse button and that will create a new vertex. So that way we can digitize. And now again you see here there is a canal. So it's also a linear entity. So I'll again go here, I'll take the cursor and it's a straight entity. So I'll click here to add vertices. From here it is bending, so I'll put here, then here again, and then here again, and here it's bending here, so I'll click here. And then I'll give it as 2 and here I would say canal. I'll give the name as attribute name as canal and I'll say OK. So if you see here we have drawn 2 line entity. So that is how you can digitize all the line entities and then you can save it, and that way all the line entities whatever you want to digitize, that would be that you could do. And you can see in this topographical sheet there are many roads, so you can digitize all of them, all the line entities which is available in the map, and if it is required then you would be digitizing it. So that way we have learned how to digitize the point entity, and we also learn as to how we can digitize the line entity.